back to the Montana garage. I guess that's been enough talking about the DD Speed Shop 57 Chevy and showing you guys what everything looks like. I guess now it's time to get some work done to it and see if we can't make things a little better. So today I'm gonna pull all the plugs, address a little bit of wiring, mess with the Phytech a little bit, and I still have the oil pressure gauge to install. Whoops. And now I just lost my little compression fittings. Nice. Dan didn't include the Canadian hood prop. If you guys watched his videos, he had a hockey stick that would hold the hood up. As you can see, the hood stays up, but it's just barely, I mean, it barely gets to the right spot and she comes down. So I guess I don't have the Canadian hood prop, so I've been going with the American version. Just vice gripping it right there where I did it before. Must have loosened her up when I took her off. And that just makes her so she ain't going nowhere. I think I'm going to start by pulling all the plugs and looking at them. I'll probably pull them all out at the same time, and maybe I will, if I can find my compression checker, I might as well spin her over and see what we got for compression. And we'll look at the plugs and we'll go from there. So let me find a way to set you up on the hood here and turn on some fast motion, and you guys can watch me struggle. Ow! Watch your head. All right, I got you hung up there on the hood. I think you can see me. I'm probably upside down. I'll see if I can use my superior editing skills and flip that around, and then we'll go to fast motion, and hopefully I can get some work done finally. All right, got a little assortment of tools here. Usually with the headers, there's one or two spark plugs that are a little bit of a struggle. I haven't messed with these ones yet, so I guess we're about ready to find out. All right, I got all the plugs out. Driver's side was easy. Passenger side was a little bit more of a struggle, but I was able to get to all of them, and they don't look super bad. The ground strap is about right, but all of the, I don't know, I'm not an expert, all the cores or whatever are a little black. Like, they definitely been running rich. But the good news is there's no, oil or anything like that on any of them. The only thing that was a little bit different on the other side over there, number, let's see, number 8, I guess, back in the corner, was really hard to get to, and it was an old Autolite 3226, pretty rusty. So, like I said, it was hard to get to, and I could barely get the wrench on it, and I think it was actually a little bit loose, but I think probably Dan put new plugs in them because the rest are NGKs, but I don't know if, like I said, that one was hard to get to, so maybe he couldn't get to it. He just figured we'll leave that one alone. So I'm not sure. I got them all out just to be safe. It means it's not running super optimum. I think I'll just go ahead and grab a new set of plugs. I'll probably put some ACs in it if I can get them. Otherwise, I'll use these NGKs, whatever I can get a hold of, I guess. So we'll grab some new plugs, and I didn't look at the gaps, but we'll kind of gap them. And while I got them all out, we'll throw the compression tester in if we can get it in all the cylinders and see what we got for compression too. All right, time for a little update. I got all the plugs out. I talked about that already, I think. And then I did do a compression test. It was a bugger getting that compression tester in a couple of the cylinders, but I got it in all of them. The number 8 back there in the corner, I got it in there, but I'm not sure if it was totally tight. And that one read a little bit low. So they went from, highest was 170, we got a 165, 162, 155, 145, 157, 150, and 140. So 2 on this side, 2 and 8 were a little bit lower. You know, that could be, you know, the compression tester. Like I say, I may not have had that one tight all the way. Anyways, they're all within reason, I think. Like I say, a couple of them maybe a little bit low. So if it is running a little bit rough, those are a couple things, or the cylinders to check, I guess. But there's no evidence of oil or anything like that in any of the cylinder or any of the spark plug holes. So I went and got some new plugs. I got some AC Delco R45S is what I usually use in these older things. Is that what you guys use? And I got some new header gaskets, because that's another thing with this Phytech thing. It says any exhaust leaks, you know, can give you a false AFR reading. And they use that kind of, that AFR reading, I think, is kind of what this whole thing runs off of. So anyways, we definitely had some exhaust leaks, so we got some new gaskets for that. So we'll set you back up and try to put this stuff back together and see if we can make it work. We all know that one guy that gaps his spark plugs by just looking at them. And that's probably all that's necessary, just to make sure. I have bought some before and had them like they got dropped or whatever, and there was no gap at all. So you definitely do want to at least look at them. I got a little gap tool, so I just, you know, take 2 minutes and slide it up to 0.035 is what I set them at. So we'll do all that and then see if we can't get these things back in there. Header gaskets are replaced and all the spark plugs are replaced. I still have to hook up the spark plug wires. These things obviously were like not a custom kit, so they're quite a bit longer than they need to be. So I'll have to find a way to route them a little better, and then I'll probably do the old zip tie them together thing. I'll show you that if you haven't seen that. I think I stole that from the Roadkill guys. So we'll do that here in a little bit. These headers were a bit of a chore. They're definitely harder on this car than they are on my 55. I would have never been able to get them loose or tight without these little custom wrenches I had from my grandfather. And the rear plug on that side is really hard to get to. That's probably why it wasn't replaced or changed with the last ones. But since I was taking the headers off to replace the gaskets, it made getting to the plug a little bit easier. I was able to put them back in, but then getting to a couple of the header bolts on that side is quite a bugger. And then this is a similar setup to what I have on the 55. I have some kind of homemade bracket, but this is like a little bracket that fits around the header tube down there. So I had to loosen all of this stuff, and it was kind of a pain. This little bracket is actually broken on the bottom. When I loosened the bolt, that little chunk fell out of there. So hopefully, I mean, I got it tight in there and I think it's going to be okay. It's still got a little meat that the header bolt is on to hold in place, but it just doesn't have the full, where'd that go? So obviously the header bolt would go through that hole. So it's still, you know, biting onto that bracket at the top of the bolt. What it's not doing, I guess, is tightening down the header on the bottom. I might have to try to loosen that up and see if I can maybe just put that back in there. That might have just been, it just fell out when I was loosening it, so maybe that's what it already was. But anyways, that bolt is quite a bugger, so we'll see if I can do that or not. Yeah, so I guess next thing is spark plug wires, and then we'll see if we can get her to fire again. I'm a little concerned. When I was doing the compression test, I had unhooked this 12-volt wire that was going to the EFI, but I think we were still dumping some fuel in there because eventually I started squirting a little fuel out of the cylinders. So then I unplugged some stuff over there. So I don't know, hopefully it's not all, you know, I was turning it over with all the plugs out, so even if it was flooding the cylinders out, I mean, there was never like gas like spraying out of the cylinders, but I was just getting some gas inside my compression checker gauge thing. So hopefully I wasn't dumping a whole ton of fuel in there. So we'll see what happens here in a little bit. I guess this is a good time to pull the cap and check out the points and rotor. Let's see if I can find a screwdriver that'll work for that. Yeah, definitely some kind of burn marks and whatnot in here. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to put a new one of those on. Wonder what the stuff from my other motor looks like. Take a peek at that. I got her running again. Changed the plugs, points, cap, and rotor. The points looked a little worn. The cap didn't look super great inside. Kind of some burnage and kind of some ridges in the little terminals in here. I don't know. I went ahead and got a new one. Well, I didn't get a new rotor because they gave me the wrong one. So I put the old rotor back on. But I got distracted as usual. Had some neighbors come over and then we had to go in and have dinner, and now it's 10:30 at night. But I just took her for a quick burner on the block. Still boggy, but I think that's just the or the Phytech. But it's definitely running a little better. It's a little more crisp. I was able to at least get her to spin the, I thought tires, but turns out I think it's a one wheel peel. Dang it. So anyways, it's running better. Tomorrow I will play with that Phytech and, you know, be able to drive a little more. I guess you can do like a data log, and you can go back and look at like the fuel ratios and stuff like that. So hopefully we can make some more improvements, but it's definitely better already. Zip tie spark plug harness update. So got it. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's keeps the wires off the header. So as you can see down here, there's nothing on the headers. We got these two together, then three together there, and then all four of them together up there. I kind of wish I could find some way to just hold them a little off the valve cover also. Kind of fall down on the valve cover, so we'll find something to do with that eventually probably. But that's kind of the gist of it. So we'll go to the other side and see how that turns out. you guys how the zip tie spark plug divider harness, whatever you want to call it, went on the, this is the passenger side. So again, these wires are just a little longer than they probably need to be, so I'm just trying to hold them up off the headers and whatnot. So I got, you know, 2 together right there. And then on this side in 57, you got all sorts of, you got all this heater box and heater hoses and stuff to contend with also. But these 2 are held together down there again. And then I got 3 there and 4 together right there. Trying to make it so you can kind of see it. So yeah, I don't know. This is just a quick and easy. You know, I know they make actual little harnesses or little setups to divide your spark plug wires and route them. And there's probably better ways and cleaner ways to do it. And you can hide them all around behind the block and whatever. But this is just a quick and easy way to do it. Almost everybody's got zip ties hanging around in their shop somewhere. And if you just need to find a way to, you know, get your spark plug wires cleaned up a little bit and hold them off your exhaust and whatnot, give this a try sometime. You know, I think it doesn't look too bad for just a bunch of zip ties stuck together, and then you can, you know, you get them tight enough that you can pull this plug wire this way and this one this way or whatever, and, you know, get them how you want them so they ain't flopping around and riding on your headers and whatnot. So anyways, if there's anybody out there that has never seen that and gives it a try, let me know how it works for you. I think it's a pretty slick way to do it. All right, look at there. We got a little different look out here in the Montana garage tonight. That's because we pulled the old 57 delivery out of its lonely little corner over there, and we took it for a little spin yesterday. So that was pretty cool. Unfortunately, I was making a live video for the Tri-5 mob over there on Facebook, and I used my phone for that. And I had the GoPro in there, but I forgot to push the little magic button there, so I don't have any footage of the drive. I think I do have some footage of cranking it up and backing her out of the shop, so maybe I'll throw that in there just for a little teaser of what's to come, because now that we got her out, we'll definitely be doing some footage of this bad boy pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, this one spins both the tires, you know, so that's cool. reason we're out here tonight is because I was editing the video you're watching and I realized two things. I don't have like an outro thing filmed, and like I said earlier, I lost some footage because my SD card was corrupt or whatever. And I was talking about the zip tie spark plug thing, and I showed it in fast motion and kind of showed the end result. But the part where I showed you what I was actually doing was lost to the video gods, or wherever the video goes when it gets lost off the GoPro disc. So anyways, I'm going to do that real quick, and then we'll talk about some other things when we come back. All right, I realize this is out of order, but here is a more thorough detail of how I do those zip ties. So let's say we want to hold those three together just like this little plastic clip was there. And I learned this, I saw this, I believe, on Roadkill. So Finnegan or Freiberger. So I didn't invent this myself. And I'm sure lots of you guys probably already do it, but there might be somebody out there that hasn't seen it before. So if I want to group these three together, I'm going to take a zip tie and wrap it loosely around those three. Or try to anyways. And you can try to kind of position the little square part where you won't see it. And then get it a little tighter than that maybe. It's kind of loosely around there. And then you're going to put another zip tie between each wire. And then you kind of got them loose there, and you just try to get them kind of how you want them. And you tighten things up a bit. I try to kind of hide the little square part, like I said. All right, so there you go. Then it separates them, and then, like I said, you kind of can lock them in place. These little clips work, but you know, they come loose all the time. I know there's a million other ways to do it, but that's just a quick and easy way to do it. Like I said before, everybody's got zip ties, and I think it doesn't even look too bad. So if you try that, let me know what you think about it. All right, so I think that's where we're gonna end this video. We got a few more videos that I'm trying to get caught up on the DD Speed Shop 57 Chevy. So stay tuned for one or maybe two more quick videos of that, just to kind of get caught up to where we're at. And then we'll have some new stuff coming. Like I said, probably the Sedan delivery here, and I still got to get going on this thing, and we're going to keep working on the DD Speed Shop car too. So I got lots to do, lots of videos to make. I appreciate all the new subscribers. And for those of you that aren't subscribed, it's, you know, like they say, it's free. Hit the little button, helps us out here at the Montana Garage. Don't forget to use the link in the description to do any of your Amazon shopping. I appreciate all that. Some of you guys have been doing that. That's awesome. And yeah, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and come back for more. Thanks again.